everybody. I hope you all had a lovely half term. So we're going to get started with our English lesson and we're going to carry on with our vocab masterclass just like we were doing last half term. So our target word today is float. Your turn. Well done. So let's check how many syllables are in the word float. Let's tap it on our head. Float. Let's clap it out. Float. Well done. So there's one syllable, one beat in the word. So what does float mean? Well, float is when an object is resting or moving, okay, without sinking, so without dropping down. And we've looked at floating before, haven't we, when we were looking at Astro Girl, and we said that people were floating in space because there's zero gravity. So floating is a verb, the word float, and if you remember, a verb is an action, okay, so it's something that is being done. And I've got an example sentence here for you to have a look at, and it says the ring is floating in the swimming pool. So in the picture there you can see an inflatable ring and it is floating, it's hovering in that swimming pool, okay, it's not sinking. So I've got a few pictures here on the screen and I want you to just have a little think in your head, which picture do you want to use, and can you say a sentence to describe one or more of these pictures with the word float in it. Okay, so have a little go, pause this video for me now. Super. So here are a couple of my examples that I've put together. So I chose the rubber ducks because I just love rubber ducks and I've got loads in my bathroom. So I have said that the ducks floated along the river. Okay, so I've got my root word of float here and I've put ed on the end. Can you remember when we put the ed suffix on the end of a word, what did that mean? Yes, it's in the past tense, okay, so the ducks are floated along the river. They have already done that. And then at the bottom here, I've got an astronaut, and I chose that picture, and I've said that the astronaut is floating in space. So yet again, I've got the root word float. I've added the suffix ing onto it, and it means that it is happening, okay? It's happening in the present tense, so it is floating in space. So words that are similar, so synonyms, okay, words that mean the same thing, are hover. So another word is hover, okay, so it's when you're floating around. And the opposite of that, so an antonym, is the word sink, okay, because if you're sinking, it's the opposite of floating. So let's have a little recap over the word today. So my word is float. Can you say that? Let's check how many syllables. Float, so it's got one syllable. The meaning of float is to hover, okay? And an example sentence is the astronaut was floating in space. Thank you for joining in. Let's stop sharing that screen now and let's get our other lesson up for today. And hopefully you'll remember that before the holidays we started a new story, didn't we? About an alien, well we think it was an alien called Bigu. So we started reading the story, didn't we? And we had a little look at this character Bigu here that's on our screen. And we found out that she had a curved nose and long floppy ears. And we started writing some descriptions so that hopefully people found Bigu or might have been looking out for her to see if they could find her for us. I don't know if you've seen her around in the holidays. Maybe you have. And if you remember, we started looking at the start of our story and we started finding out a few things about Bigu. So we found out, didn't we, that she crashed into planet Earth and that she tried to speak to some things, but they couldn't speak back to her. So she was feeling a bit sad. So I'm going to read you a little bit more of the story today, but I think because we've had a week off, I'm going to start from the beginning. So I'm going to stop sharing that so you can see my lovely face. And we're going to have a little look at reading a bit more of our book today, which is Bigu. So here we go. Right at the start, remember, it said, Bigu was not supposed to be here. She was lost. No one seemed to understand her. And can you remember, she tried talking to the rabbit and she tried talking to the tree, but they just didn't understand her. Some wouldn't even stay still to listen. And when she went and talked to the leaves, they were blowing away, weren't they? From far away, she thought she heard her mother calling. Can you see her looking at the city? I bet that's quite daunting, isn't it, for her? Bring, 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 bring. But it wasn't her. What was it? Oh, it was a phone in a phone box. Bigu didn't like being alone. She needed to find some friends. You see down here, look, she's trying to make some friends with this passerby. But it doesn't work. I think we've got to quite a sad part in our story, haven't we? That is a shame. I bet that Bigu needs to find some friends so that she can feel a little bit happier and maybe feel a bit more settled on planet Earth. So I've popped up a little letter on the screen for you to have a little look at that I have found in the classroom. So Bigu must have left this here over the holidays, and I'm going to read it to you because some of it is a little bit confusing. So let's have a look at reading it together. It says, "Dear children, my spaceship has crash landed in your playground. I need some felp." Felp? Let me underline that word. Felp. I need some felp. What do you think she means? I need some felp. Help. She's got a bit confused, hasn't she there? I need some felp. I heard a lone winging. Something. So that should be ringing. I heard a phone ringing and thought it was my mum, but it wasn't. I saw a meaf blowing in the wind. A leaf blowing in the wind. But I couldn't speak to it. I found some puppies in a box. But they couldn't help me either. I feel really alone. How might Bigu be feeling? Alone. There we go. Please reply soon. Bigu. Bigu sounds really confused, doesn't she? I think she's trying to speak in English words, but her alien words are starting to come through a bit. But she's also asking for lots of help because she feels really lonely because she's got nobody to talk to. Oh, I don't know about you, but that is making me feel very sad and very depressed on this Tuesday. So, how's about then? We write a letter to Bigu in response to what she has told us. Maybe something to try and cheer her up. What could we say to her? Have a little think. What might we say to try and cheer Bigu up in this letter? I've got an idea. We might say things or tell her to do things that will make her feel better. Can you remember those commands that we looked at the other week when we were telling her to do things like eat some pizza or talk to your friends or play with some new friends or go to a school and play with the children? Can you remember those? I wonder if we should say those to Bigu to try and cheer her up. So here are some examples of the commands that we wrote. Here I've got give Bigu a hug. Yeah, I like it when people give me a hug. That might cheer her up as well. Keep warm and dry. Absolutely. It can be quite cold at this time of year, can't it? Play football with Bigu. Talk to a teacher. Find shelter. Yeah, somewhere to stay. Stay calm. Have a little think. What other things did you tell Bigu to do? What other commands did you write for Bigu to try and keep her calm and cheer her up? Have a think. Well, I've got some examples that I got sent in, and I actually got a lot more than I have put on here, but these are just a couple I wanted to share with you, just to recap some ideas you might want to steal. So here were some commands that you wrote down, things that you were going to do to make Bigu feel a little bit better. Here I've got give Bigu a present. What a lovely idea. So give Bigu something to cheer her up. bake a pizza for Bigu. I don't know about you, but sometimes when I feel a bit miserable, eating my favourite food definitely cheers me up. And even here, give Bigu some yummy chocolate. We've also got another person saying give Bigu a present, which is nice. Paint a spaceship bedroom for Bigu. I like this idea because it might make her feel a bit more at home. Draw a family picture for Bigu. So draw a picture so that she's got a photo. Make a cupcake. Another great idea there with some food. And play a fun game with Bigu. Some super ideas that we can use to help cheer her up. Well done to everyone who sent me all those in. Because remember, what did we have to put at the start of our command to make it a command? Yes. And you remember here we needed our verbs, okay? Which this person, these two people, have definitely made sure that they have done. So I'm going to use some of these and a few ideas I've remembered in my head to try and write a letter to Bigu, okay? I'm going to be making sure I'm using my command sentences to give advice to Bigu and make sure that she feels okay. So I need to include my command sentences with imperative verbs at the start. I'm going to make sure I'm punctuating my sentences, and I'm going to try and use a conjunction to join two of my ideas together. And I've got a word mat here that we might want to use. I've got wash, that's a verb we might want to use in our command. Stroke, I've got Bigu, so we know how to use that. I've got face, paw, eye. I've got some feelings here that you might want to use to describe how Bigu is feeling. I've got scared, worried, nervous, it's very similar to worried, and I've got frightened, which is similar to scared. So, shall we have a little go then at creating our letter? So, at the start of our letter, we need to say who it is going to. So, who are we writing our letter to? Bigu, and Bigu, look, is on this spelling here. So, I'm going to write dear. D, ear, dear, d, ear, dear. Right, dear Bigu. Now, Bigu is the name of my character, so I need a capital B. Dear Bigu, and I'm going to put a comma and then start my line underneath. Right, dear Bigu, I'm going to say, I am sorry that you are feeling... I'm going to use one of these words off my word mat. What about scared? Should we use scared? Scared and worried. I'm going to use both of them. So, dear Bigu, I am sorry that you are feeling scared and worried. I am sorry that you are feeling, feeling, that you are feeling scared and worried. What comes at the end of my sentence? Full stop. I am sorry that you are feeling scared and worried. So I've opened up my letter. Now I'm going to make sure I've got my command. Let me flip back. Let me see if I can steal any ideas. I've got play a game. You should, I'm going to say, you should play a game with someone. You should play a game with someone. Yeah, I like that idea. You should play a game with someone. I'm going to get rid of these lines just so you can see my writing. Oh, every time I do that. Or not. There's me trying to make it easier for you to be able to see it, and I don't think it's going to make it easier. Oh well, you can see that there. So, dear Bigu, I'm sorry that you are feeling... What if I do this? There we go, that might make it clearer. I am sorry that you are feeling scared and worried. You should play a game with someone. What about have a bath? Yes, someone sent me that one in and said have a bath so that you can relax. I like that. Have a bath, because I've got have at the beginning, which is my command, my verb. Have a bath. Or even, so I've got or, so I'm using my conjunction. What would they eat some, yummy chocolate, or even eat some yummy, yummy, What makes an E sound at the end of my word? A Y. Yummy chocolate. Chocolate. Have a bath or even eat some yummy chocolate to cheer yourself up. Right, let me check what I've written. I've said, Dear Bigu, I am sorry that you are feeling scared and worried. You should play a game with someone. Have a bath or even eat some yummy chocolate to cheer yourself up. I'm going to end it now by saying, I hope you feel better soon. Better soon. And I'm going to say from, and then I'm going to write my name at the bottom. Great. Right, let's check it. Let's see how we've done. And I'm going to get my green pen to mark it. Are we ready? Let me get my green pen up here. So, Dear Bigu, so I've said who it is to. Then let's check. I've got my commands and I've got my capital letters and full stops as well. So I am sorry that you are feeling scared and worried. Brilliant, I've punctuated it. You should, so here is my should, play, there's my verb, a game with someone. Great. Have a bath or even eat some yummy chocolate to cheer yourself up. And I've got my full stop there. I hope you feel better soon. Great. From Miss Reed. So I've punctuated my letter. Super. I wonder then today if you can have a go at writing a little letter to Bigu to try and cheer her up. See if you can make sure that you're including these commands with imperatives verbs, because that's really important that we're using that skill that we learnt before half term. You might even want to get those pieces of paper out and have a flick through them and steal any ideas that you can. Some people today are going to continue to do this task, and I've popped this on the school website for you to use, okay? Or you can freeze this screen now because you don't need to print it off and just have a go at writing your letter. If you need some communicate and print to help structure your ideas, I've popped this on here for you to use. So here I've got dear, and think about who you are going to pop. So I would be writing Dear Bigu. And then you need to write your ideas underneath. Here we've got the sentence, sorry you are. I think I'd use the word sad. And then you need to write that sentence. Then here we could have something to our, I think I'd have chat to our teacher. And then from and who it is from. Okay, so if you use this in school, then have a little go at doing this task for me. But if not, I want you to have a go at writing your own letter using all those fabulous commands that we did before the holidays. Good luck with this task. I know you'll be brilliant. Don't forget to send me this in so I can see what you are telling Bigu to do to put a big smile on her face. See you later for phonics, everyone. Bye.